Hi, so in this talk, we are going to talk about accessible productivity. We'll understand about accessibility and how we can make our app accessible, and then we'll move towards creating a customizable server with which we can automate accessibility and we can test it. Before we start, thank you React Brussels for having me here. I am Nidhi. I am a front-end engineer at ShopTrade. I am a Google Summer of Code alumni. You can connect with me on Twitter. My Twitter handle is nidhijha98. On GitHub, my GitHub handle is nidhikjha. Before we start, let's talk about accessibility first. What is accessibility? So accessibility is not it does not need any extra effort to make our app accessible. It's just the practice of making your website usable by as many people as possible. So there are many special users out there who have some kind of disability or impairment and who face issues while using a website. And since our age is the modern age of technology, we need to make sure that our application is accessible to these people. ALI. So accessibility or ALI is a measure of computer systems accessibility is to all people, including those with disabilities or impairments. So it considers both hardware problem and software problem, and it makes sure that our app is accessible for everyone out there. Even if they have some kind of disability, they can still use our application without any issues. Why accessibility matters? So roughly 1 billion people right now have some kind of disability, and they might face some issue while using our application. So if our app is not accessible, it is going to affect approximately 1 billion people. And the accessibility and this disability is not concerned with like permanent disability. It can be of three types, like permanent disability where they can have some issues like deafness or blindness, temporary which hinders like for a very short period of time, and then we have conditional disability, which concerns majorly when you are in a remote area and have slow internet connections in that aspect. Then we have a particular accessibility checklist that we need to follow so that we can make our app accessible. So for example, landmark roles, there should be roles present over there like presentation and all. So you might have seen a lang attribute on your HTML files. That is one of the other things that we needed to include in our apps. Then we have semantic headings. We need to make sure that we have semantic headings in our app. We need to include links which have a focus state and are recognizable. Each of the image should have an alt text so that it is readable by the screen readers. The form should have labels, proper placeholder and field sets. Same goes for video and audio. We should provide them with subtitles and transcripts. The color and contrast ratio should be maintained. And then whenever if we are testing our app with a screen reader or a keyboard testing, it should be done properly. Like for example, in a form, when I'm working with a form, I can switch to each input fields with a tab button. Then there are certain guidelines that has been laid by WCAG, and it has been broken into 4 principles like to make our web app more accessible. So first is perceivable. Users should be able to perceive it, like they should be able to understand what is there in the website. It should be operable. For example, sometimes there are buttons which can be clickable in some ways. From keyboard, when you click with tab, you can go to the next tab, and when you press enter you can actually submit a form. These kind of things should be operable depending on the use case. Then it should be understandable to the users. It should be robust, that it should work across different browsers, Firefox, Chrome, so that the content should be well developed to make it usable across all the different browsers. Now let's take a look at what all ALI accessories we have in the list. The first is Axe, Lighthouse, IBM Equal Access Accessibility Checker, and Pally. So Axe, you can get we will get to know about each of these in the later on. Let's see what we have next. Okay, so let's talk about Pally. How Pally is an ALI accessory for us. Okay, so to know that, let's go to the Pally website. Here on the Pally website, you can see that they have different types of features here with which you can make our web app accessible. So we have Pally, we have a Pally dashboard, Pally web service, and Pally CI. You can see all of their open source projects on the GitHub. And then there are some other ways you can use, for example, this Coeli. Right now, what we are going to do, we are going to create our own Pally server. So for that, let's go to the Pally again, and here let's go to the Pally dashboard. So once you go to Pally dashboard, it is a web interface which helps you to see the accessibility of your website, in any website. If it is behind proxy or if it is not behind a proxy, you can test either of that. We'll see it later on. Let's first create the server. So Pally dashboard is a Node.js application and it requires certain dependencies, a database. So to start with the server, let's first clone the repo. And so you need to clone the repo in your local, and then you need to install npm. So I have already done that. I have downloaded this repo, cloned this repo, and I have installed npm. So after installing npm, you need to install the MongoDB. Since I am on Mac, I'm going to do with this. Once you do this, you need to install a community version of MongoDB. You just need to simply follow the steps. These are well and fine. Like, fine for that. Then we have to start the MongoDB server. Once we start that, you can check that the service has started properly or not. Oops. Yes, I have already started it. So let's restart it. So successfully stopped, successfully started. So let's check the services if it has been installed properly and it is started properly or not. To do that, let's run this command. And see, here we can see that these all things are running properly right now. Okay, now let's see what is on the port 8080. So here you can see that the Pally dashboard is the server is running at 3000, and you can see the URL at localhost 8080. So now if I go to localhost 8080, here on the Pally dashboard, to check any of your websites, what you need to do, you need to add a new URL. So for example, I want to check this page, github.com/login, to know the accessibility issues on this page. So I'll add a URL here. So to add, after you click on add a new URL, you'll be redirected to this /new route. I'll add a name to this page that I'm going to test. It's GitHub login. Then I'll add the site. You can choose any standard if you want to. I'll go with this one. Timeout. If you have a timeout, you can add it there. So here I'll be adding 30,000 timeout. Then in your website, if you have something like which needs to be downloaded before Pally runs its server, like a wait time, for example, a pop-up or something, you can add a wait time here as well. In the task actions, so for example, say if you have a login page and you need to add your username and password, and after that, once someone click on the login button, it should take the user, and if the credentials match, it should take the user to the next stop. Then you can specify those actions in this section here, in this input. If you want to target the username and password directly, you can do that here. And then you can specify HTTP headers if there are any. If your website is behind a proxy, you can add your HTTP headers here. If there are certain elements that you want to hide from Pally, for example, say a modal or a div, you can specify that here. And the last, if you want to ignore a certain set of rules, you can ignore them from here. Like, you can just go to the rule and it will tell you what exactly this rule is for. So you can ignore them from here. Once you are done with all the things, all the settings, you just need to add this URL. Once you add the URL, your URL will be added to the Pali dashboard. And if you go to the dashboard now, see we have a URL here, which is GitHub login that we have created. The other URLs I have used to generate a report. That's why we can see a report here, but this haven't been used. So I'll go for this and create a new report for this login page. So for that, just click on Run Pali. You can even edit this task or delete this task, like if you want to do that. Otherwise, just run Pali to see the issues, the accessibility issues that we have here. So here we have our issues. In the errors, we can see that the text input element does not have a name available to any accessibility API. So you can click on this and you can go to get to know about the hints of the solution. There are certain warnings which are here, some notices that you can ignore. And then if you want to generate a report, say a CSV or a JSON, you can just download it from here. I have tested this site today on 7th October, so the date is specified. So that's how you can use a Pali. Like now let's go and edit this task. So say I don't want it to be called as GitHub login. I want to call it as GitHub page. I can go there and save the changes. Now if I go back to the dashboard, I can see that previously which was GitHub login is now updated to GitHub page, and now I have certain report here that we have generated previously to for our website. So this is how you can use Pali dashboard to generate reports and to know about the issues that are there in your website. After Pali, we have Lighthouse, IBM accessibility tool, and X. So let's start with Lighthouse. Lighthouse is another tool, like an open source tool provided by Google, with which you can test the accessibility of your application, or you can get to know about the SEO or PWA status of your website through using Lighthouse. So to use the Lighthouse, you need to add this extension in your Chrome browser, and once you have done that, you can use it like this. Like for example, I want to test this website. This is my personal website, and to test this, you need to go to the dev tools. Here we have Lighthouse. You need to click on this, and since I only want to see the accessibility, I clicked on this, but if you want to check the SEO or any other category, you can just select that one. So after clicking accessibility, just click on the generate report, and Lighthouse will generate a report based on the accessibility status of your application or website. So here my accessibility of this website is 85, and let's see what are the issues here. So the ARIA attributes do not match their roles. This is the first issue, so this we need to take care of. And then I have another issue, which is background and foreground colors do not have a sufficient contrast ratio, and these are the failing elements. Like this issue is coming at these points. And to know to fix this issue, like to know more about this, we can just click on learn more, and it will take us to the WCAG link. So if I click on learn more here, it took me here where I can get to know like how we can improve this issue. So next, after Lighthouse, we have IBM Accessibility Checker. So this is again an accessibility checker tool from IBM. To use it, we need to install the extension. This accessibility checker generates a report for accessibility issues against W3C Web Content Accessibility Guidelines. To use this tool, we need to install the extension. So I have already extension. This small butterfly is the IBM accessibility extension, and to use this extension we need to go there, and here in the dev tools I can see the accessibility assessment over here. So to check the website with this accessibility checker, you need to click on the scan, and once we clicked on the scan, we have our reports generated like this. So for example, I want to see this issue, like I have these issues over here and there is some warnings here. So to do that, we can go to the issue and click on that, and here I can see like this issue is coming at this class certainly, and we can target it. So that's how you can use the IBM Accessibility Checker tool. Next on the list we have X. That's again an extension. You can download it from their site, like install the free Chrome extension, and if you are in Chrome you can install it. So to use this one, I have it here in the XDevTools. I just need to go there in the XDevTools, and here I can scan all of my page or scan part of my page from the website. So for now, let's scan all of my page, and here I can see that there are 3 issues. So 2 are the major ones, like it must only allow array attributes, perfect. And then I have another which is the similar in both the other accessibility checker tools, which was color contrast, and this bypass one. This issue needs your review. It's not a warning. It's actually, this means that it's not exactly an issue, but instead it's a warning. So that's how you can use X here. So so these were the accessibility testing tools that we were about to talk about. So let's sum up. We learned about accessibility. We learned about what are all other things we need to include to make our web app accessible for everyone, why we need to make our app accessible, and then we created our own customizable server. We saw some different tools that are available there that we can use to make our applications accessible. So this is about like accessibility. I feel accessibility is important since previously I worked with UNICEF as a Google Summer of Code developer, and there we have to make an app which is accessible for all the case workers located in different countries of the world. And accessibility was one of the major concerns with other functionalities. So I guess we all should make our app accessible for these special users. So that's about it. If you have any questions, just reach out to me, and thank you guys.